Hi everyone, my name is Mr. Colbeck and I'm Head of PE and Health at Trinity Academy Cathedral. Really excited to share with you GCSE PE, and this will be the first time in a number of years that we'll be doing this with a cohort going through into year 10. So really looking forward to some of you picking this option, and you'll see my email at the end if you can ask any questions. So you do two papers in the year 11. So the main difference between BTEC Sport and the GCSE PE is based along coursework or exam based, and GCSE PE is exam based. So you learn content, and then at year 11 you're tested in an exam on that content in two different papers. And the other difference is it's also assessed practically. So you have to take part in 3 sports and you're assessed on how you do in those practically, whereas BTEC Sport, it doesn't matter about your practical. You still get practicals, but you're not assessed in those practically as well. So paper 1, as you can see from there, you'll learn about the heart, you learn about the skeleton, you learn about the muscles, you learn about different types of fitness that you need for different sports, you learn about physical, mental, social, and you just learn about the anatomy, the movement analysis, the physical training, and you use some data inside of that, and you get an exam at the end of there, which is around an hour and 15, depending on the exam board we decide to go with, and you're assessed on those through an exam. Paper 2, this looks at different things from paper 1, so this is more social cultural issues, so we look at sports psychology and why people take part in sport and the barriers to people taking part in sport. We look at cultural issues and why there might be some barriers there. We look at health, fitness, well-being and what it's important to have a healthy diet for. We look at technology and the new VAR and how that's important in sport, or how that's maybe impacting on sport. And we look at gamesmanship, sportsmanship and deviance, and what that means, and what it means to cheat in sport, and what it means to be a real good sportsman. And we look at those, and those are assessed again across the second paper, similar times, around an hour and 15 minutes at the end of year 11. Okay, and the final bit you're assessed across 40% is 3 sports. From those 3 sports, you have to do 1 team sport, you have to do 1 individual sport, and then you do 1 either or to make up the 3. So that means you could do rugby, you could do football as your choice, but you have to do 1 individual, whether that be table tennis, whether that be badminton, whether that be dance, whether that be swimming, whether that be athletics, whether it be rock climbing, that we take you rock climbing. You have to do 1 sport individually. So you have to do a team, an individual, and then either or. So if you're really good at badminton and table tennis, you could do badminton, table tennis and a team. It doesn't matter about that third one. It's a choice between us to see your best sport. And then another part of this comes from an analysis of performance. So you'll look at your performance, you talk about your strengths, you talk about your area for improvement, and you write a bit about that, and that goes towards this 40%. So even though the GCSE is heavily weighted towards the exam base now, and it is 60% based on exams, you're still getting 40% practically, plus a little bit of writing up coursework about a performance that you can gain from practical PE. So it's a really exciting way to get some marks before you sit those exams in year 11. Here's just a couple of examples of an exam. So here we have Usain Bolt, and we're looking at his leg here driving off, and we have to just name what muscle is used at the hip and what muscle is used at the ankle. And that's kind of the first paper, the physical factors affecting performance, and the bones and the muscles and the heart, and that kind of questions will be on there. And then this one, the social cultural one, this question asks about Russia, who've been banned at the Olympics due to finding that they've been taking drugs, and what's the impact of those Russians not taking part in the Olympics, and what will that mean for not having a country in the Olympics. And we have to talk about that. When we do this exam, you have to do 1 or 2 longer questions, around 6 to 9 marks, where you have to write a little bit. And that's why you'll know, if you're thinking about watching this video, I've asked you to write in those little mini assessments and have a look at those and see whether you can do a little bit of extended writing, because you do have to write a little bit extended writing in those 2 exams. So this slide will be seen on the next video if you're looking at BTEC Sport to have a look at the differences. So these things are not different. We'll do university trips, we'll go visit professional sports games, we'll have referees coming in, we'll have professional athletes coming in, we'll look to do visits to Wembley, sports tours. That'll be across both. Alright, so please don't worry about that, but these are things you'll do if you pick a sport course. And again, this slide will be the same, alright? So if you want to do GCSE PE, if you want to do BTEC Sport, you can do all these things, just to name a few. PE teacher, physiotherapist, sports journalist, outdoor instructor, professional athlete, those things can come from these courses. The main difference, guys, is the exams, and you are assessed practically, where you're getting 40% from free sports plus a little bit of coursework writing about your performance. My email's on the bottom there, guys. Please ask any questions, email if you're not sure. I'm happy to answer any questions, or ring in school and ask for Mr. Colbeck. I look forward to you picking GCSE PE and teaching next year, hopefully. Thank you.